Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something fundamental, something embedded deep in the structure of our biological and psychological makeup. It's the art of attraction. See, we are creatures of habit, governed by patterns that have been shaped over millennia. Courtship isn't just some arbitrary social construct, it's a biological necessity, deeply intertwined with our survival and reproductive strategies. And when a woman is interested in a man, whether she consciously realizes it or not, she exhibits a set of behaviors that are universally recognizable. Now, the fascinating part here is that many of these behaviors are involuntary. They happen because they have to happen, because they are manifestations of a deeper, often unconscious psychological response to attraction. And if you're perceptive, if you train yourself to see these signs, you will gain an advantage not in manipulation, but in understanding human interaction at its most fundamental level. So let's go through them. Subconscious attraction signals are deeply rooted in evolutionary psychology. These signals are not arbitrary, but are hardwired into human behavior, developed over thousands of years to ensure successful reproduction and social bonding. Women do not consciously choose to exhibit these behaviors, rather, they emerge naturally when genuine interest is present. The body speaks in ways the conscious mind cannot always control, revealing truths that words may try to conceal. A woman's physiological response to attraction manifests in micro-expressions, posture adjustments, and unconscious gestures that betray her emotional state. These responses are not random, but serve a biological function, indicating attraction, compatibility, and trust. The eyes are the most revealing feature when it comes to subconscious attraction. Prolonged eye contact creates an invisible tether between two people, a silent acknowledgement of connection and curiosity. When a woman looks at a man with sustained attention, it is because her mind finds something captivating about him. Her pupils may dilate, her gaze may soften, or she may quickly glance away and then return as if drawn back by an unseen force. This is not just a social habit, it is primal, an instinctual recognition of potential chemistry. The eyes do not lie, they reflect the subconscious before the conscious mind has time to mask intent. A woman's voice is another powerful indicator of attraction. When she is engaged, her vocal tone often becomes softer, smoother, or even more playful. This is not manipulation, it is a subconscious adjustment meant to signal warmth and receptivity. The voice modulates in response to emotional engagement, shifting in pitch and rhythm. If a woman lowers her voice slightly, it creates intimacy, drawing the listener closer. If she speaks with heightened enthusiasm, it indicates genuine interest. These subtle changes are not conscious tactics, but evolutionary mechanisms designed to foster connection and rapport. Physical orientation is a direct reflection of internal attraction. When a woman is interested, her body instinctively aligns with the person who holds her attention. She may angle her torso toward him, shift her feet in his direction, or lean in slightly when he speaks. These are not arbitrary motions. They are deeply ingrained biological responses that signal comfort and engagement. The human brain is wired to seek closeness with those it finds appealing. If she subtly closes the distance, it is because her subconscious is propelling her toward him, overriding any socially constructed restraint. Mirroring is an unconscious behavior that reveals deep-seated attraction. If a woman begins to match the gestures, speech patterns, or postures of a man she is speaking to, it is not coincidence, it is a subconscious strategy to build connection. The human brain instinctively mirrors those we feel drawn to, creating a sense of unity and synchronization. This is not a learned behavior. It is an automatic response designed to establish rapport. When two people unconsciously move in sync, it is because their minds are aligning on a fundamental level, recognizing familiarity and compatibility. Subtle touches are among the strongest subconscious indicators of attraction. A woman who finds reasons to make physical contact, whether brushing against an arm, adjusting a sleeve, or playfully tapping in conversation, is engaging in a form of silent communication. Human touch releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, strengthening emotional connection. These gestures are rarely calculated. They emerge naturally when attraction is present. Even the lightest touch carries meaning, signaling comfort, desire, and a willingness to break the barrier of personal space. If she initiates these small moments of contact, it is because she feels compelled to bridge the gap between them. Hair and neck touching are deeply ingrained responses to attraction. When a woman plays with her hair or grazes her neck while engaged in conversation, it is not a meaningless habit. It is a subconscious display of femininity and vulnerability. The neck in particular is a sensitive and exposed area, and touching it can be an involuntary response to nervous excitement. These gestures draw attention to delicate features, subtly inviting interest without the need for direct words. They are remnants of primal courtship behavior, signals that transcend cultural differences and remain universally understood. The concept of personal space shifts dramatically in the presence of attraction. When a woman is drawn to someone, the invisible boundary that typically separates individuals begins to shrink. She may lean in slightly, step closer without hesitation, or remain within arm's reach even in a crowded setting. This is not random positioning, it is an unspoken invitation. A signal that proximity feels natural and desired. Human instincts dictate that we maintain a certain distance from those we feel indifferent toward, but when attraction is involved, that distance dissolves without conscious thought. The unconscious act of self-enhancement often occurs in moments of attraction. A woman who adjusts her appearance in subtle ways, smoothing her clothing, straightening her posture, or checking her reflection, is responding to an innate drive to present herself at her best. This is not vanity, it is a subconscious preparation, an instinctual response triggered by heightened awareness of the person she is interested in. These small, seemingly insignificant actions are deeply telling. They reveal that she is aware of his presence and that on some level she cares about the impression she leaves. Laughter and playfulness are natural indicators of attraction. When a woman is drawn to someone, she finds joy in interaction, often responding with genuine amusement or light teasing. Humor is a powerful social tool, a way to create bonds and gauge compatibility. If she laughs more frequently, even at moments that might not be overtly funny, it is because attraction amplifies emotional responses. Her engagement is not forced, it is an instinctive reaction, a manifestation of the positive emotions she associates with the person in front of her. A woman's breathing patterns may subtly shift in response to attraction. When emotions are heightened, breath becomes slightly quicker, reflecting increased heart rate and physiological arousal. This is not within conscious control. It is a direct consequence of heightened emotional engagement. If her breathing slows or deepens during moments of closeness, it is an unconscious adaptation, an attempt to maintain composure in the presence of someone who affects her. These are the whispers of biology, undeniable proof that attraction is not merely an abstract feeling, but a physical state. The act of tilting the head slightly while listening is a nonverbal cue of deep engagement. When a woman angles her head while a man speaks, it signifies focus and genuine interest. This is a gesture rooted in human connection, a subconscious way of signaling openness and receptivity. It is not a forced action. It emerges naturally when someone is intrigued and invested in a conversation. The tilt of the head, combined with a soft gaze, creates an atmosphere of warmth and understanding, strengthening the silent bond between two people. Subtle facial expressions can reveal more than words ever could. A woman who slightly raises her eyebrows upon seeing someone she is drawn to is exhibiting a micro-expression of excitement and pleasure. This response is almost instantaneous, occurring before the conscious mind has time to intervene. It is an undeniable sign of positive emotional recognition, a fleeting but powerful indication of attraction. Similarly, a parted lip expression, an unconscious smile, or a momentary blush all serve as visible markers of internal emotion, exposing what the mind may attempt to conceal. Even silence can be a powerful indicator of subconscious attraction. When a woman allows moments of quiet without feeling the need to fill the space, it is a sign of comfort and connection. Nervous chatter is often a defense mechanism, but true attraction fosters a level of ease that transcends the need for constant verbal exchange. If she lingers in his presence, content to simply exist within the same space, it is because she feels drawn to him in a way that words cannot always articulate. This is the essence of unspoken chemistry, a force that requires no confirmation, only recognition. Subconscious attraction signals are more powerful than any rehearsed words or conscious displays of interest. They bypass logic, revealing truth in their rawest form. They are unfiltered expressions of human nature, whispers of the subconscious that speak volumes when understood. Those who recognize them gain an unparalleled insight into connection, attraction, and the hidden language of desire. Social hierarchy governs every aspect of human interaction, from leadership to relationships, and courtship is no exception. Attraction is not random. It is structured by an unseen order, an evolutionary blueprint dictating who rises and who falls in the social and romantic arenas. Women are drawn to competence, status, and confidence, not because of cultural conditioning, but because these traits signal stability, protection, and success. The way a man navigates social dynamics determines his desirability, not merely through looks or wealth, but through the implicit signals of dominance, ambition, and influence that shape human attraction at its core. Courtship is not a chaotic, unstructured phenomenon. It is a dance governed by primal instincts, honed over thousands of years of survival. Women do not consciously seek power, yet they respond to it instinctively. Power does not mean control. It means self-mastery, direction, and the ability to command respect without demand. A man who understands his place in the social hierarchy, who moves with purpose and certainty, becomes magnetically attractive because he exudes the qualities necessary for leadership and provision. This is not a game. It is a biological imperative, an unconscious sorting mechanism that determines who is worthy of attention and who is ignored. Hierarchy is not about oppression. It is about structure. Every social system, whether ancient tribes or modern corporations, has a ranking order that ensures survival and efficiency. Courtship operates under the same rules. Women observe, assess, and choose based on subtle but undeniable indicators of status. It is not about wealth alone, it is about competence. A man who is respected by his peers, who walks into a room and commands silent acknowledgement, is broadcasting signals of high social value. This is not arrogance, it is the natural consequence of earned authority. Women detect these cues without effort, responding not to superficial displays, but to the underlying essence of leadership and capability. Attraction is not dictated by surface-level compliments or empty gestures. It is built on an unshakable foundation of social proof. When a man is admired by others, when his presence carries weight, he becomes desirable without needing to convince anyone of his worth. Women gravitate toward men who are valued by their community because social validation is an ancient indicator of reliability and success. This is not manipulation, it is an evolutionary strategy hardwired into human psychology. A man who understands his role in the social order, who refines his skills and contributes meaningfully, naturally ascends in desirability without resorting to desperate attempt at courtship is not about desperate pursuit, it is about the quiet power of selective engagement. Women are not drawn to men who chase mindlessly, who lower their standards in pursuit of validation. They respond to men who choose, men who evaluate, men who set the terms of engagement because they know their worth. This is not arrogance, but discernment. In a world where options are abundant, value is determined by scarcity. A man who carries himself with the assurance of someone who is not easily swayed, who does not bend for approval, becomes infinitely more attractive because he operates from a position of strength rather than need. The structure of social dominance is not about oppression, but about order. It is the natural sorting of individuals based on competence, resilience, and vision. Women do not seek submission, they seek alignment with a man whose direction is clear, whose mission is unwavering. A man without purpose, without an internal compass, is unmoored, drifting, and unattractive. Attraction is not about superficial tricks. It is about the presence of mind, the stability of character, and the ability to create security in an uncertain world. Women are not choosing at random. They are selecting based on the most ancient of criteria, the ability to thrive. Posture, tone, and movement communicate more than words ever could. A man who stands tall, who speaks with measured certainty, who moves with intention, projects dominance without effort. Women do not respond to forced bravado. They respond to genuine presence. Every interaction is an exchange of power, a silent negotiation of social positioning. The man who understands this, who carries himself with quiet authority, does not need to seek validation. It is granted to him automatically. Status is not declared, it is demonstrated. The way a man interacts with his environment, how he is received by others, dictates his place in the social hierarchy before he ever utters a word. Confidence is not feigned, it is built. It is the result of competence, of repeated victories in the arenas of life. Women are not drawn to arrogance. They are drawn to assuredness. that is rooted in real achievement. A man who understands his craft, who moves through the world with expertise, becomes desirable because his competence signals security. This is not about manipulation, it is about reality. Weakness is repellent not because women are cruel, but because nature selects for strength. In every species, the weak are cast aside and the strong carry forward. This is neither fair nor unfair, it simply is. A man who leads, who takes decisive action, who shapes his environment rather than being shaped by it, becomes the gravitational center of every social circle. Women respond to this energy instinctively, not because they are seeking dominance, but because they are seeking stability. A man who hesitates, who second guesses, who looks to others for permission, signals uncertainty, and uncertainty is the death of attraction. Courtship is not about grand gestures. It is about the micro expressions of confidence, the effortless demonstration of capability that cannot be faked. Women see it, feel it, and respond accordingly. Social hierarchy determines access, not just to wealth or power, but to respect, admiration, and desire. Women do not choose based on arbitrary preferences. They choose based on patterns that have been embedded in human psychology for millennia. A man who ignores this reality, who believes attraction is about luck or mere chance, is blind to the fundamental rules of engagement. Status is not given, it is earned. And once earned, it does not need to be announced. The way a man speaks, the way he handles challenges, the way he interacts with the world around him, all of these factors determine his desirability more than any superficial trick ever could. Courtship is the ultimate test of hierarchy. Women observe, assess, and align themselves with men who reflect strength, stability, and future success. Attraction is not passive. It is an active process of selection based on discernible traits. A man who cultivates his skills, who builds his influence, who understands the silent language of social dominance, does not need to chase, he is pursued. Women do not respond to neediness, they respond to abundance. The man who has options, who knows his worth, who carries himself with unwavering conviction becomes the natural choice. He is not chosen because of what he says, but because of who he is. Social hierarchy and courtship are inseparable. Women are not making conscious checklists, they are responding to signals they cannot ignore. The way a man moves, the way he commands space, the way he interacts with the world, all of it is a reflection of his place in the hierarchy. Attraction is not random. It is a byproduct of competence and confidence. Women do not seek men who beg for attention. They seek men whose presence demands it without a single word. Emotional investment is the most undeniable force in human relationships. A force so potent that it overrides logic, reshapes priorities, and dictates behavior in ways even the most rational mind cannot control. When a woman becomes emotionally invested, her actions, thoughts, and desires align with a singular focus. This is not a choice, it is a compulsion. The depth of emotional attachment determines the strength of attraction, far beyond superficial appeal or fleeting interest. When a woman begins to invest emotionally, every interaction takes on new weight, every moment of connection is amplified, and every response from the man she desires becomes a reflection of her own internal world. Emotional investment is the cornerstone of deep attraction, not because it is manufactured, but because it is unavoidable. A woman does not choose to feel attached, she simply does. The more emotionally engaged she becomes, the more her subconscious prioritizes that connection above all else. A simple message carries significance. A delayed response creates anxiety. A kind gesture solidifies her loyalty. When emotions take hold, logic becomes secondary. This is why true attraction is not merely about looks or status, but about the ability to stir a woman's deepest emotions, to create a connection so strong that she sees no viable alternative. Attachment is not built through empty words, but through experiences that create an unshakable sense of connection. A woman does not fall for what is said, she falls for what is felt. When a man understands the mechanics of emotional investment, he does not chase, he creates moments that leave an imprint. He is unpredictable in a way that excites, stable in a way that reassures, and distant in a way that intrigues. Emotional attachment is strengthened through contrast, the push and pull, the anticipation, the uncertainty that makes every moment spent with him feel valuable. A woman who is emotionally invested will find herself thinking, waiting, yearning, because her mind has become addicted to the emotional high of the connection. Investment deepens when a woman begins to tie her self-worth to the relationship. She does not just desire the man, she desires what he makes her feel. If he brings her peace, she seeks his presence for stability. If he excites her, she chases the thrill. If he challenges her, she craves his approval. This is not a conscious strategy, but a biological response, a need that develops when emotions are engaged at a level beyond mere attraction. When a woman is emotionally invested, she does not see alternatives. She sees one path, one connection, one irreplaceable bond that must be nurtured, protected, and fought for. Emotional investment manifests in her actions, in the way she prioritizes him over others, in how she reshapes her routines to accommodate his presence, in the way she justifies his flaws to herself because losing him is not an option she is willing to entertain. The deeper the investment, the harder it is to walk away. This is why time strengthens attachment, because every shared moment, every meaningful conversation, every personal detail exchange solidifies her emotional dependence. This is not manipulation, it is nature. The more effort she puts into the relationship, the more valuable it becomes in her mind. Emotional attachment is heightened when uncertainty is present. Predictability breeds complacency, but uncertainty breeds obsession. A woman who does not fully know where she stands is a woman who will constantly seek validation, crave reassurance, and invest more energy into strengthening the bond. The emotional mind is not drawn to things that are easily obtained. It is drawn to things that must be earned. This is why women do not fall for the man who is always available, who never presents a challenge, who offers himself without requiring effort. They fall for the man who is slightly out of reach, the man who creates a sense of longing, the man who makes every moment with him feel like a privilege rather than an expectation. Investment leads to emotional exclusivity. When a woman becomes deeply attached, her desire for external validation diminishes. She no longer seeks attention from others in the same way because her emotional fulfillment is tied to one person. This is the essence of commitment, not a decision made in the mind, but a reality created in the heart. When a woman invests deeply, she does not compare, she commits. Her thoughts revolve around him, her emotions are influenced by him, her happiness is tied to his responses. Emotional exclusivity is not about control, it is about natural selection. The more a woman invests in one man, the less she considers others. Emotional investment is the foundation of loyalty. A woman who is emotionally attached will defend the man she loves, even against her own rational mind. She will rationalize his mistakes, fight for the relationship when obstacles arise, and hold on to hope even in the face of challenges. This is why emotional connection is more powerful than physical attraction, because it binds a person beyond the realm of logic. A woman may be drawn to many, but she will remain loyal to the one who has her heart. The strongest attachments are forged through shared experiences of intensity, moments of deep vulnerability, shared struggles, triumphs that create a sense of unity. A woman invests in a man when he becomes part of her emotional world, when she sees him as more than just a presence, but as a necessity. This is why emotional bonding is more effective than superficial displays of attraction. Looks may catch attention, but emotions create attachment. Status may impress, but deep connection sustains loyalty. Investment is a cycle. The more a woman invests, the more she fears losing what she has built. This is why relationships built on deep emotional bonds are harder to break. The brain fights against loss, resists detachment, clings to what is familiar and safe. A woman who has poured her emotions, time, and energy into a man will not let go easily, because letting go means accepting loss, admitting failure, and confronting emotional emptiness. The deeper the investment, the stronger the attachment. The subconscious mind does not